welcome to SVG TV's news for Wednesday, March 8th, 2023. I'm Triska Campbell with the details. St. Vincent and the Grenadines today joined the global community in celebrating International Women's Day under the theme Digital Innovation and Technology for Gender Equality. In an address to mark the occasion, Minister of Gender Affairs Dr. Orlando Brewster said information communication technology is a male-dominated field that women can benefit from and encourage more women to work in the tech industry, noting that the aim is not to displace men.
Digital education is just as important as traditional education, especially living in the era of COVID-19. A significant portion of jobs and social activities related to daily life are expected to require advanced digital skills, which will leave women and girls behind and jeopardize the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. Currently, over 90% of jobs around the world have a significant digital component. The world is changing thanks to the important contribution made by women. They are working extremely hard and shattering the glass ceiling in order to promote a more gender equitable society. We encourage women and girls in St. Vincent and the Grenadines to venture outside of their comfort zone and embrace new challenges, new technologies such as ICT and the STEM fields.
Brewster said the government has consistently provided technological tools to the educational institutions across the country from primary to tertiary level for e-learning as part of the ongoing efforts to facilitate digital transformation in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The Gender Affairs Minister said that a woman's visibility in any sphere comes with its unique challenges, noting that it is evident that women and girls face increased online violence and harassment, such as cyberbullying and privacy concerns, which have been exacerbated during the COVID-19 lockdowns.
The prevalence of women and girls online has considerably increased since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. This further compounds the vulnerability faced by women and girls. Recent trends in our country and even the wider Caribbean has seen the vulnerability of women and girls being exploited through mediums such as cyberbullying, revenge porn, child pornography, online stalking, and sharing of sexual images and contents. To this we say, no, this is not right. Women should not be defined by these images portrayed. However, women are strong, women are resilient, and they contribute significantly to building homes, churches, communities, schools, families, and our nation. Women and girls' role in our country are pivotal to economic and social development, and we are appreciative of the work they do day in and day out. Therefore, on this International Women's Day, let's celebrate all the incredible women and girls in our country, in our lives, whether they are our sisters, whether they are our mothers, whether they are our daughters. Let us show our admiration and love for their accomplishments and dedication to creating a nation where women are free from all injustices and have room to thrive.
During his weekly appearance on NBC Radio today, Prime Minister Dr. Alf Kansal saluted the women of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and noted that International Women's Day is to celebrate the progress of women and commemorate women as very special in society, the region, and the world. In her message for International Women's Day 2023, President of the National Council of Women, Beverly Richards, says in the digital age, there is still perpetuated bias, inequality, and violence in the lives of women and girls.
Technological progress is outpacing progress towards gender equality. This is not progress. From the earliest days of computing to the present age of virtual reality and artificial intelligence, women have made untold contributions to the digital world in which we increasingly live. Their accomplishments have been against all odds in a field that has historically neither welcomed nor appreciated them. Today, a persistent gender gap in the digital access keeps women from unlocking technology's full potential. The lack of exposure to education and careers in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics for our women and girls remain a major barrier to participation in technological advancement and governance.
According to Richards, as our daily lives become increasingly digitized, gender gaps in digital access threaten to leave women and girls even further behind. However, she noted that digital technology is opening new doors for the global empowerment of women, girls, and other marginalized groups.
Efforts to close these gaps have led to improvement in the gender parity score. The absolute gap between men and women's access has actually increased by 20 million since 2019. Today, 63% of women have access to the internet, compared to 69% of men. Women are 12% less likely to own a mobile phone, a figure virtually unchanged since before the pandemic. This 8th March, we are calling on government, activists, and the private sector alike to power on in their effort to make the digital world safer, more inclusive, and more equitable, and to eliminate online gender-based violence. While we face multiplicity of global crises, we have a chance to create a better future, not just for women and girls, but for all humanity and all life on Earth.
In recognition of International Women's Day, SVG TV News salutes women in the Vincentian Society who have been making their mark in the male-dominated working environment. One of these women is certified welder, cricket coach, and trained electrician Nayash Durant, who told SVG TV News it is all about having self-confidence and believing in one's ability.
More women don't get into male dominatory because some of them can be lack of confidence. Self-motivation is the key. Maybe some of them might lack of encouraging themselves, lack of confidence toward it. Scared, getting feedback from males. But you have to have a strong mind. You have to have a strong mind to push through, especially working around males. So you just lack of confidence. Self-motivation is the key. You have to motivate yourself to do field work, to work around males. So
Durant said as a female, it is important to exert oneself in a male-dominated working environment, as there can be a struggle for support from colleagues and supervisors.
You have to believe in yourself, right? There will be times when you don't get the support from your supervisors, the ones above you, but you have to encourage yourself. You understand? You have a lot of challenge that coworkers feel they underestimate you as well. So you have to make sure, prove yourself that you can do that, right? Yes, as a female, you might be soft in certain things, certain areas, but you have to toughen up your mind. And that's a challenge. You just got to push yourself to do it.
Speaking on a negative experience in the electrical field, Durant said it is important to stand up for what you believe in and not to sell yourself short.
So have you encountered any negative experiences?
I did, as a female. I could remember very well when I was doing the electrical, when I was practicing electrician work. The guy who I was working under, who tried stuff with me, and I stamped him down one time. I said, listen, And that is for any female out there as well. You doesn't matter who you is, doesn't matter who they are. Never work to stop. Always say, listen, I just work in to get my money alone and learn my trade. You understand me? They will come and try to lime you, try to date you, try to do whatever. But keep your head on. And that was the negative energy. And I just move on from there. I stop it. That's why I stop. And I just...
So did it affect you mentally? Did it?
Well, I feel proud of myself of just stopping immediately. I stop him immediately and I just move on. I never go back to that job.
Durant used the opportunity to encourage females across SVG to always display confidence, especially when they find themselves in a male-dominated working environment and may question their ability to succeed.
My last thought on it, to encourage any female at all to, doesn't matter how old are you, doesn't matter where you're from, doesn't matter your background, always believe in yourself. Sports helped me a lot to strengthen my thought. Cadet sports helped me a lot from a young age. When I joined it, it helped me to be outspoken, it helped me to fight on, and it strengthened me mentally, emotionally, physically. The cadet sports helped me a lot from that young age growing up. And now sports, cricket doing it for me, and now in my skill of being a welder, I'm encouraging any female at all, anyone out there. It have the institution them, you have Camden Park, Barrowley, Georgetown, Kingston Technical Institute. To join any one of them. If you don't have a certificate, go learn a skill, join them, get a certificate in any skill, mechanic, welding, construction, anything at all, and go for it. Always believe in yourself. Doesn't matter what. You know, every home have a little peer pressure, and doesn't matter what. Always believe that you can do it. Always believe that I am here for this reason and I am fighting for this reason. You know, it will have times that you will feel down, you will feel depressed, but at the end of the day, remember what you're for. Remember who you're gonna become. Remember what makes you proud in life. You know, believe in yourself. That is strongness. After you believe in yourself, you're going to make yourself proud. Always be the most encouraging person for yourself. You have to encourage yourself first. And I will encourage any female at all to join us, do a skill work. It's fun when you can make things with your hands. You could see, you could look back and see, I really make this, I really do this. It encourages you. So any female at all, encourage yourself to do what you want to do in life.
In other news, Prime Minister Dr. Afghan Saws has praised the business community for its response to the offering national support for internship training and employment on-site program. On radio today, PM Gonsalves noted that over 300 businesses have applied to participate in the program and that a meeting was held last Friday, March 3rd, with some of the participating members of the business community to discuss their role in the internship training and employment program, which will run for 6 months and involves the placement of 189 persons at various workplaces.
It is a phenomenal response from the business community, as there was from persons who wanted to take part in the program. That is to say, the 6 months program. As you know, there are 4 categories of persons. Those who had completed primary school, secondary school, community college, and university. And you get different salaries or different stipends, and they're reasonable stipends. And these persons are attached to businesses, private businesses, for a 6 months period. It's costing nearly $1.4 million. It is funded by a grant from Taiwan. And in fact, Taiwan is involved with us with 3 targeted specific employment interventions. There's the YES program, which, as you know, they take into account young people from the ages of 16 to 30. Then you have the SET program. The YES program is the Youth Empowerment Service.
Mm-hmm.
The SET program, the Support for Employment and Training. These persons are also persons within the same broad age category there, which I just gave, but these are persons from community college and university. And then, of course, we now have the on-site program.
Right.
And together, these, you're talking in excess of 1,100 persons.
PM Gonsalves noted that at the end of the 6-month period, they will make an assessment on the level of success of the program. Meanwhile, the Girl Guides Association of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, with support from the Taiwan International Cooperation and Development Fund, on Sunday, March 5th, 2023, opened a call for participants to register for a business and leadership training program dubbed Startup SVG. The program will be offered to girls and young women across St. Vincent and the Grenadines aged 14 to 21 years, with support and resources to develop their business ideas and, where applicable, strengthen their business operations. Startup SVG will officially commence on Tuesday, April 11th, 2023 and run until Saturday, April 15th, 2023, with sessions commencing daily at 9 a.m. at the Girl Guide headquarters in Level Garden. A news release from the Girls Guides Association says the objectives of the program includes providing guidance on how to assess the feasibility of entrepreneurship and business ideas, developing short to medium-term self-improvement plans, structuring and operating simulated enterprises, and developing effective communication skills. Local and regional experts are expected to serve as mentors and facilitators during the course of the program. Participants are invited to register their interest by completing the online registration form available on the social media handles of the Girls Guides Association of St. Vincent and the Grenadines by Friday, March 10, 2023. A third person has been charged as the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force continues to probe the murder of Sheldon Welsh of Georgetown on Thursday, March 2nd, 2023. The police say on Tuesday, March 7th, 2023, Lisroy Bacchus of Chile Village, Georgetown, was charged with knowing what Javed Da Silva, a 22-year-old laborer of Carroll, Georgetown, and a 15-year-old student of Langley Park, having committed the offense of murder or other relevant offense on Sheldon Welsh without lawful authority or reasonable excuse, assisted by transporting the body of Welsh to the Montgomery Mountain and burying him. Today, Wednesday, March 8th, 2023, the defendant appeared in the Serious Offences Court for arraignment. He was not required to enter a plea to indicatable charge and was remanded into His Majesty Prison pending the start of the preliminary inquiry. The National School Band Showcase 2023 was launched on Tuesday, March 7th, 2023. Addressing the launching ceremony, Chief Cultural Officer Maxine Brown said by participating in a school music band, students are given the opportunity to express their limitless curiosity and creativity while opening new audiences locally, regionally, and internationally.
Being a part of music, your music program in your school, allows you to express yourself, feel the emotions, explore your limitless curiosity and creativity. Through constant work in your music band, you get opportunities to be inspired, follow your imagination, and to create. As a matter of fact, you too get a lot of chances to express yourself with lots of creativity. You acquire experiences that could take you far and wide. Being in your school band gives you experiences that can create opportunities you may never have had otherwise. It gives you experiences to play for incredible audiences, locally now, but eventually, regionally and/or internationally.
Coordinator of the National School Band Showcase, Rodney Small, said music and social movement are linked together despite the difference in music genres, and the appreciation for music creation must be shown.
Music and social movements are linked together. While we may not like a new music trend or a particular genre of music, we must also take a step back and appreciate all styles of music creation and how lucky we are to expose it to all. Music in some parts of the world are not easily accessible. At the core of our everyday life, experience with music, we use it to relax, express ourselves, come to terms with our emotions, and generally improve our well-being. It has evolved healing and self-expressions, often dictating how we as individuals take steps to impact society. Music is the universal and cultural language, and we must appreciate all styles and genres of music, no matter where we are from or where it was created.
Also addressing the ceremony was Minister of Tourism and Culture, Carlos James, who said it is his ministry embarking on several projects to harness the creative talent of the nation's youth, such as the National Youth Band and a National Youth Orchestra.
Re-established idea for National Youth Band is something which will take place immediately off the heels of the Schools Band Showcase, which is scheduled for March the 25th. I'm quite certain a few days will pass before the team put together a number of the talented persons who will grace the stage of the the School Band Showcase on the 25th, and will move in the direction of having the school bands, National School Youth Band, come into the table once again as one of the staples within the entertainment industry. In addition to that, we are very much looking as well as at having a National Youth Orchestra, which will have elements of the National Youth Band, but will focus a lot more on classical and performing arts and the type of equipment that is used in an orchestra, which will provide, again, another avenue for a youth to properly develop their skills and at a level which will demonstrate a level of professionalism from the training that these youth will be exposed to in the coming months. And these are two of the things which we're looking at addressing our focus on youth development within the creative industry and within music.
Activities for National Heroes and Heritage Month will continue here tomorrow with the opening of the 10th International Garifuna Conference at the NIS Conference Room. The conference, which will be run from Thursday, March 9th to 11th, is being hosted by the Garifuna Heritage Foundation in collaboration with the University of the West Indies Open Campus under the theme From Recreation to Action: Challenges and Opportunities for Promoting Reparatory Justice for Indigenous Peoples. A release from the organizers of the conference said March 9th marks a significant day for the Garifuna people, as it was on March 9th, 1797, a fleet of ships sailed from St. Vincent to Roshan in Central America, which is part of present-day Honduras, carrying 2,336 persons who have been kept as prisoners of war in Baliso. The release said a total of 20,026 survived the journey, and it is this group of persons who formed the beginning of the exile of the Garifuna people in present-day Belize, Honduras, Nicaragua, Guatemala, and the USA. The International Garifuna Conference 2023 will be conducted in a hybrid modality, that is face-to-face and virtually from the NIS conference room. Tomorrow's opening ceremony will commence at 1 p.m. with the keynote address to be delivered by Professor Dr. Federico Lenzerini of the Public International Law, European Union Law, and International Human Rights Law at the Department of Law of the University of Siena, Italy. The conference will continue on Friday, March 10th, with 2 other keynote addresses and a panel discussion on the topic Elements of Reparatory Justice for Indigenous People in the Caribbean. Presentations will be delivered by participants from Belize, Dominica, Suriname, Guyana, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. On Saturday, March 11th, the final day of the conference, a keynote address will be delivered by Professor and Philippa Vodoraka, Professor of Law, Faculty of Law, and UNESCO Chair of International Law and Cultural Heritage at the University of Technology, Sydney, Australia. This will be followed by presentations by overseas delegates drawn from the Garifuna diaspora. The closing keynote will be delivered by Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. The conference will end with a closing ceremony on Saturday evening. The Ministry of Tourism and Culture, in collaboration with the Consul General Rodney McIntosh and his team at the Consulate in New York, along with members of the Regional Integration Diaspora Unit, will host the Garifuna Homecoming 2023. Speaking at a recent news conference, Cultural Officer Maxine Brown outlined the different activities that will be involved in the journey from home from March 10th to Wednesday, March 15th.
Yes, our Garinagu will be coming home to Yume, a place they consider blessed and the right place to be, from Friday, March 10th to Wednesday, March 15th, to celebrate Heroes and Heritage Month with us. Whilst here, they will be engaged in several activities, and some I'll highlight at this time. They will arrive on Friday. Most of them, some will come before, but the majority will be here by Friday, March 10th. We will officially welcome them. They'll participate in the Garifuna Heritage Foundation 10th Annual International Conference. They will bring message from and through the various leaders who will come. Trevor Palacio is the head of delegation, James Lovell, and these are persons actively involved in sending a Garifuna message far and wide that we belong and we have a home here in Yume. Eulogia Gordon, Sheena Zuniga from the National Garifuna Council in Belize, Dr. Galen Moore.
Brown said one of the highlights of the Garifuna Heritage Homecoming is the journey to Baliso on Sunday, March 12th.
We'll travel with the team to Baliso on Sunday, and you have to be there. See, the media people are smiling. Sunday, March 12th, 2023. I will be there, and so will you. We will leave from Villa and journey to Baliso. I've been there so many times, but I always go back. This activity will be led by Bodoma, one of the lead drummers, with the support of Dora Aranda and the Brew Society with drums. The drum speaks the language of the people. The drums speak the language of the people. It will be an all-white affair, so they're encouraging us to wear white, because when we get to Baliso, they will, I don't say reenact, but they will celebrate a ceremony known as Ayurahani. Ayurahani, it's where we are required to wear all white and just celebrate our heritage and remember where we came from. And I must hasten to say that it's good to make a pilgrimage, that's the key word they use, to Baliso. Because where we think we're going on a ride or get a free trip to go to Baliso, it's deep. That's where the people were exiled, and if they come to SVG and don't get to Baliso, you think they're going to die. So we made the extra effort, the exalted effort to plan a trip to Baliso, pilgrimage to Baliso, and so we encourage you to get there. Though we have serious part of the ceremony, we asked to bring a swimsuit as well, so we take a little soak in Baliso. I've been there several times, and you will love it yourself. Clean waters.
A wide cross-section of stakeholders in conservation met today, Wednesday, March 8th, for the beginning of a two-day workshop at the Fisheries Conference Room. The workshop aims to review the National Parks Protected Area Systems Plans and Protected Area Policy for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The current goal of the National Parks Protected Areas Policy is to establish and manage a national protected areas system that will provide for the sustainability of biodiversity and other ecosystem services, which support socio-economic growth and sustainable development. A news release from the Agency for Public Information, the API, said that at an opening ceremony, Director of Forestry Fitzgerald Providence said protected areas such as the Kings Hill Forest Reserve play a critical role in the sustainable development of SVG. The release said Providence stressed that protected areas are key to supporting SVG's water supply, as well as the unique flora and fauna, which in turn provide an important resource for Vincentians. The forestry director told those at the ceremony that it is hoped that with stakeholders' participation, there will be a paper and a proper and working document which will encourage better management of protected areas. According to API's news release, the workshop facilitator, Dr. Ann Spenceley, said stakeholder participation and feedback remain vital in ensuring that the plan and policy are realistic and grounded in local capacity issues. The API said presentations were also made by the Forestry Services Division, which allowed for useful discussions related to the issues facing protected areas in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as well as possible solutions to these problems.